Live, ladies and gents. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How you doing? Drop a like, drop a high. What's going on, Jomo? Are we gonna get another big smack? What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on is the big question. Man, look, first of all, hi everyone. How are you doing? Beautiful morning here in Spain. Hopefully, you are beautiful and dandy wherever you are on planet Earth. Drop us a message. Tell us what's the weather like where you are. Reminds me of the 90s when you will talk with someone abroad. They will say, oh, the first thing, oh, it's cold here. Oh, it's hot here. This is the hour. This is the time. Different times right now. But drop, is it cold or hot where you are on the planet? Look, CM, in the BTC, realm right now, we're having just the choppiest action, but on the weak side. Okay, let me just share just a little bit the screen so people can understand what I'm just seeing over here, because that's how we like to start our shows, just by showing a little bit of Bitcoin. Okay, so we had somewhat of a bounce from these levels, and these were dangerous levels over here, CM. Okay, and we had a nice bounce, but it's kind of already getting smashed over here. If this is, and this can be, a level of resistance where we just kind of, touched it, and, we can continue all the way back down from here and into very bad territories. Okay, so for me, if we're below the 111 cm, that's that's very iffy and very weak action, and people don't appreciate that something like this can happen, and then we're going to be like in awful trouble. Okay, on the weekly CM, I showed this, to you the other day. We can be getting, without people really thinking about it, because I know everyone wants to be bullish in the mindset, but we can be getting something very awful that looks like a big, head and shoulders top information for Bitcoin. And, it is a possibility. I don't think people are seeing actually the chart here. They see the chart right now. So this is, with all the weakness that is happening right now on the daily, okay, I wouldn't be surprised for this to pan out. Okay. And, of course, we have been stating and saying that this weakness is something that we don't like in the past, few weeks already. Ever since that sell on the news event on the rate cuts, we are being kind of careful about things, even though we had some beautiful trade sense. But it's very awkward action for Bitcoin. See, I mean, we have all that, kind of red flags. So right now, this weakness for me, that's a sign. Until it changes, I'm on the weak side, thinking that bad things can happen soon. What do you think, CM?
Well, we have some people from Mr. Gloven from the island. He's now drinking margarita, spending his crypto gains money on the drinks, drinks in the pool. Uh, this guy is from Philippines. How you doing, man? 32 degrees. Ooh, that's hot. Whew. I love the heat. Andy is in
Yeah, in the
Scotland.
Philippines.
Andy is in Scotland. Make us tough as F for this market. Zebek. Whew. Someone is bullish on Zebek. Yeah, man. Exactly. We got warning signs. The Bitcoin is kind of looking cooked. Uh, looks cooked to me. Let me. It can do what you were saying. It can do what you are saying. It probably will do what you are saying, but I think you're gonna get a bounce from here first. Okay, even if it drops
Yeah,
to the
yeah, yeah.
one
Of
hundred
course.
thousand, to the 100,000, probably gonna get a stinky bounce. To fake more people, more baboons. Oh, we're going higher, we're going higher. Then it creates a lower high here, and then you're gonna get the big dump. I think the big crash will take us to these levels, like you said, and then you will have probably a head and shoulder here, and another one will form later, which will mark the big bear. Where we are like going all in on a Bitcoin short or an Ethereum short, and printing dineros. Uh, that's gonna be the real bloodbath. Once it's gonna lose the 70s, but first it need to lose the 100. At the moment, as long as it's above the 100, it's still technically bullish, some will say. But yeah, definitely get warning sign for Bitcoin. Also, bounce above the 200. Now it's retesting the 200. So we'll see if it's gonna bounce from here or from
Yeah,
the 100K. But if it loses the 100K straight down from here, that's gonna be a very bad for Bitcoin. If it just lose the 100 from here, it is going to be brutal for
I know.
many people.
Yeah, look, it's a process, all right. I'm not in the camp that thinks that we're like 2017 or 2021, where Bitcoin can lose like a 30 percentile in the day. I don't think that's about to happen, at least not now. Maybe later in a potential bear market that can happen, in very utter weakness or very bad news and whatever. Okay, so these things, top informations on $1 trillion asset, right? It's a process. Okay, now what do you do in that process? I know the one thing you don't want to be doing, CM, and that's just holding coins just because you want to be a hodler. That's the one thing that you can get demolished by doing so. That's the one thing that you do not want to be doing right now. Okay, actually I would argue that a very good uh, MOCM is just being cash. If you have no idea how to operate in this environment, and you can see the you know chop you around, one of the best ideas is, if you have profits, book in the profits. If you have a loss, even take the loss, but just be in cash, because that's where, if something suddenly shifts, you can use that cash in order to make another move. Okay, now if you don't know how to do that, then we invite you to come to join our membership, where we show everyone what we do. Okay, that's something that you always can do, and we'll be guiding you throughout all the way how to do things. But the one thing you don't want to do is overcommit on the hodl side, CM, because that, my friend, has a heightened probability right now of getting crushed. That's what I'm thinking, CM. What are some questions we have from the audience? You want to talk with Andy about Zebek or something else?
Well, let's look on Zebek. Let's look on Zebek. Zebek is in a very critical moment. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy. Look at the drawing, man. Look at the drawing. Okay, it's still the same drawing from the other
the
day.
Picasso, the
Yes,
Picasso drawing.
the Picasso is still relevant. You can see it's now. Oh boy! It lost. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is bearish. Okay, this is bearish. Lost this upward trend line, made a bearish retest of this and also of the
Yeah.
50-day MA. Now retesting the 200. If it lose the 200, Andy, if it lose the 200, look down below. Look down below, man, because oh boy, you're gonna see a spill. I believe it's going to spill. If it lose the 200, close below the 200-day, it's going to spill probably all the way to the 20s, maybe even lower, man. It can be brutal. You saw what happened here. You saw what happened here on just a little dump on Bitcoin. Just a little dump on Bitcoin. All your crap coins collapse. All of them are Ponzi's. They're showing the real faces when the Bitcoin start looking like a snake. And once Bitcoin still will turn bearish or hawkish again, you know, it's gonna be, oh boy, and Zebek, is just like all coins. All coins will collapse, and at the moment it's still holding above the 200, which is bullish. Most coins are below their 200, but don't be naive. Don't be naive. Don't be naive, man. That's the difference. We look for winners. Okay, all the people from that join our membership, we look for winners that are sick of losing money, and they sick of the hodler's mindset. They sick of it, and they see the truth. They are all Ponzi's, instruments for making ROI. When they're bullish, you go long. When they are bearish, you short the F out of them. It's just a stupid coin. People just don't get it. Caspa, ADA. What are they? Garbage, all of them. XRP, Bitcoin, Ponzi, fluff, hot air, toilet paper. Where's my toilet paper? Toilet paper have more value than these coins. These coins are just a crap shit. And you all gonna see, because most of our audience, they weren't here in the last bear market. Most of the audience, the reality in the crypto, audience, the crypto bros, they never survive a bear market, because the hodl mindset completely shattered their lives. And many actually, got cooked completely, all of them. Now you get a new people joining every cycle, right? And now these people that are watching our show, they have no idea what is a bear market, Jomo. So they think they're just gonna huddle through it like a walk in the park with a French hot birdie, with a nice Merlot wine and some grapes and some, nice French cheese. Not gonna happen, man. A bear market is something that will shake you and will eat you alive. 99.9% of your capital is gonna be washed away in a bear market. And, we are even expecting something even bigger than a regular bear market, because of the general environment in the world now, Jomo. So people are absolutely clueless of what's gonna happen to them. They think, I'm gonna huddle, Jomo. You know how many comments I'm getting on my Caspa videos, that I'm bearish, and I'm telling them don't huddle, and all of them commenting, all the army, we're gonna huddle, man. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be so okay. We're gonna lose. Let's say we crash now 90%. It's still gonna rebound, but
Look, man, we know how it is. You told me the other day that someone gave you like a phrase. He said, Caspians do not care about price fluctuation. That's that something like that. That's now you know what it reminds me, CM. I will tell you a story. So I have a very affluent friend. He's an ex business partner. Also, we had some companies together back in the past, right? So before I became a full time trader, and in 2020 or 21, I don't remember exactly when. So there was a crypto fund, right? There was like many crypto funds. Everyone wanted to open a crypto fund, right? And the value proposition was that they will take your USD, okay, and they will convert it into ETH, and they will put it in many mechanisms to accumulate more ETH. Okay, that's the thing. And he came to me, okay, and he asked me, so John, what do you think about this? Because he knew that I'm more, native in crypto, and he asked me about the mechanisms and whatever. So I asked him before I even got. So he asked me to talk with them. So I went on a call to talk with them, and I asked them, all right, so you have nice strategies to accumulate more Ethereum, blah blah blah, whatever, okay. But what happens in a bear market? Okay, are you going to hedge against the price going down? What happens if Ethereum never sees a new all-time high? What are your mechanisms? So they told me this. They told me we do not care about the USDT price at all. We just care about accumulating more Ethereum. That's what they said. Okay. And of course, I told my friend, do not invest in this company. And of course, does this fund exist today? No. It imploded back in 2022. It went bankrupt. Why? Because they didn't regard the USD dollar. They were just, oh, I'm going to accumulate more Ethereum. But Ethereum went to $800. At the lowest point of the bear market, $800 from 4,800. So, and they didn't understood all the pressure that will put on them. Okay, so the people that think that they need to have iron balls or diamond hands or whatever they want to call it, okay, and they say that it's going to be an easy peasy because they don't care about price fluctuation. Look, you're not the first one to think that way, okay. And the honest assessment of these people is that they just never experienced the pressure of being in a real bear market. And because they didn't experience that real pressure, then they don't know how it feels. And no one knows how it feels, to be in an arm lock of a jiu-jitsu black belt until you actually feel it. You can say, oh, I go to a gym, I'm going to smash this dude. I'm like a 200 pounds. He's like 150. And then he comes and smashes you, okay? That's what the market is going to do. It's going to armbar you. It's going to do a rear naked choke on you until you're just smoked and you will not be able to tolerate the price fluctuation. Okay, so That's our take, at least, CM, and that's what we believe is the truth. Okay, and the truth is you always need to regard your USD, because that's how your mind, that's how the world operates. You accumulate more fiat currencies, or better yet, um, properties. Okay, and those properties and those things, you can accumulate more of that by just using crypto as a vehicle, as a means for that end, and not as a means of just falling in love and holding a coin because I'm falling in love, I'm romantic, this is gonna make me rich. No, that's the reality, CM. So price fluctuation we're gonna see in the bear market, CM.
This last cycle, they were telling everybody, yo, the institutions are gonna prevent the bear market. We got the nasty bear market. This
Yeah.
cycle, they are saying the same thing, but they also saying not only that they're gonna block the bear, they're gonna extend the bull. Now it's become now a phenomenon. I don't know if you're watching, but a lot of baboons with huge account on YouTube, like talking about like millions of followers on YouTube, they are telling their baboons audience that this cycle gonna last till mid 2026, man. Now, what's funny, man. My indicators are flashing. The top is in, So I don't see. Maybe it's gonna buy them some time,
Yeah.
maybe till November, December. But they're talking about mid 2026. Bitcoin will keep going higher. What are they smoking? And these are the sheeps. The sheeps are the naive people. These naive people are just getting wrecked. Every cycle you get new of them, okay, new of these retail naive baboons that just buying all the liquidity from the black rocks that they are now distributing all their bitcoins, and all these whales, the long, the 4 year cycle is like a classic cycle trade of whales from 2011. Okay, like people that participate in Bitcoin before it was priced $1. They are swing trading Bitcoin every 4 years on the like a clock, Jomo. They know, okay, I'm buying on the first of the beginning of the bull after the bear, okay, the first of the year, beginning of the year after the bear, and then I sell 3 years later at the top of the year, okay. Now it's like a clock. They're now selling, man. They're now selling. Oh, nice. This one continue. They're now selling. You know, uh, they're not selling. All these people that
Yeah.
been buying on the bear market lows at 15,000 Bitcoin. 15 to 18,000 Bitcoin. Now they're selling. Why? First, it hit their price target, which was around 120, 125, 130. You have a fib level over there, that many are watching. And you also have the clock, Jomo, the clock saying that this cycle, the top should be in early October. If you calculate the days, if you calculate
Yeah.
the days of the cycle, it's around 1,050 days for a bull cycle for Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
We topped. This time wise, 4 years, we topped. And people are like, oh, it's gonna go to 2026 how naive are people? How can they be so naive with, like, people have hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars? How can they be so naive, man? I don't get it.
Man, it's just I told you, man, it's human nature. They just want. The thing is
That's
that
not a
they're
human,
not
Jomo.
naive.
That's not the human nature.
No,
My
no,
hu-
listen,
my
listen me,
human
listen,
nature is
listen.
my human nature is trust nobody. Trust nobody.
No,
Everybody are scammers.
you're a very different individual. Most people, okay, most people, they romanticize about the future, okay, and they have wishful thinkings. Okay, now you and I, we programmed ourselves in the markets to not have these types of feelings anymore. But people, what they do is they have wishful thinking, and because and they need that to happen, because if something that they wish for doesn't happen, then all the dreams won't happen. So they just need to clinch on that idea. Okay, so that's and unfortunately it's human nature. And look, I get it, but it's just the wrong mentality. Okay, you need to pull yourself out of that dream into reality and understand that that's only a dream. Now, see, you said something interesting, right? So you said the Fourier cycle. Now, a lot of people, we are believers of the Fourier cycle because that's the data. Okay, the Fourier cycle just happened over and over again. So that's what people. You need to think like like detectives. You need to find like a framework to understand. All right, what are the things that are showing me that potentially we topped versus what are things that are showing me, that we potentially have ways to continue. And most things, at least in our book, CM, now again, this is only from a probability standpoint, high probability, that's what we believe, right? They say that they show that the reality is that there is a heightened potential of a top. For example, CM, we had multiple fake outs on the chart of Bitcoin, right? People don't appreciate, but they don't understand what fake outs, why they are very important. And I will just share to make sure people see this. Okay, so look at this. We had this attempt to break out. This was beautiful. This was where people thought we are going to go. Okay, this is where we broke from the 111 112. Bam, this was looking sexy, CM. But then we halted. Okay, we created kind of a flag, but we went down, faked out, made a higher high, but went all the way down. Then again, another higher high, but then failed again. What does that tell me? It tells that there is a PP man, CM, sitting and peeing over all these kind of moves up. Okay, this is distribution. Okay, so this is one thing people do not appreciate. This is distribution. Every time you try to go to new highs, instead of it continuing, it's meeting distribution. And also, CM, people do not appreciate that through all this area here, we had a lot of good news. We had, Michael Saylor buying more. We had DATs, all the DAT frenzy in the stock market. They were like buying Bitcoin, buying Ethereum. They were becoming like treasuries, right? DATs are digital asset treasuries, right? All these frenzy. By the way, all these stocks are getting smoked. Okay, it was just a small frenzy. We had the rate cut, okay, happening on what was it here? Yeah, it was here. So we had a rate cut happening. Everyone was waiting for the rate cut to happen, CM. Okay, it was met with selling initially, then some new buying, but again met with selling. So this is where people do not appreciate news. Okay, news, they should confirm the trend. And if the price action and the news are not confirming, for example, you have good news which should confirm price higher are met with actually selling, that's a very big clue you need to understand. Anyways, and we're having all these things over here that are just showing you that you need to be very, very, very careful with the idea of continuation and very skeptic and critical about it. If you see all this, as you said, there's some YouTubers with million viewers, and you don't know their agenda, by the way. Okay, maybe their agenda is for you to come and watch them, and blah blah blah, whatever. Their agenda is not to tell you the truth; it's to tell you what you want to hear for you to come back to them. Okay, because that's the thing. So, and they don't appreciate the other side. So be critical about all the things you're watching, because a lot of the evidence is just showing this. I think there's only one lifeline, CM. There's one lifeline, and that's if all of a sudden the United States decides to go, all hell breaks loose and prints, trillions of dollars for no reason, CM. For no reason, but Trump has, history of doing kind of no reason kind of stuff in because he wants to be,
Maybe we
you know,
maybe even the printer will not work now because
maybe
the
not,
econ-
maybe
the
not.
economy is cooked, man. They already printed so much. They use this card so many times. Yeah, it will create a buying pressure or something, but it's probably Bitcoin is probably topping out. The clock is ticking, man. Let's look on Kaspa. This guy is saying he he made a lot of money with Cas, and Cas took it back, man. This was, you made a lot of money with cash. You were smart. Okay. You were buying probably in the bull run, in the uptrend. Okay. You
You
were
were
buying
lucky.
here.
You were lucky. I'm
You
sorry.
were lucky. Exactly. You were lucky. But then your unprofessionalism, your ignorance didn't save you from this top. It topped for 15 months. It gave you signals, sell me, sell me. We told everybody, it's topping out, it's not accumulation, it's distribution. No one listened. The ones that listen are printing now with us, okay? Making blink, 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 blink. While you lost everything, they actually double or triple their accounts since your Caspa dropped to bear market here in December. You know, this was a classic distribution that is gonna cook Caspa. Caspa is dead, man. Is dead, man. Caspa is dead. I believe it's going to the 1 cent a game, and then I believe it's going to the half a cent. That's what I believe it's Caspa will happen to Caspa. Then you're gonna have sideways accumulation, and then you're gonna get a new bull market. That's what I think is gonna happen to Caspa. Is dead. It's cooked. It's cooked, man. And you know, you made a lot of money with Cas. Then Cas took it back. No, Cas didn't took it back. You lost
You
it.
lost it.
You
Yeah,
lost it.
I knew you were gonna
You
say
lost it.
that.
It was you had the money in your hand. You had the money in your hand. You had the money in your hand. Why you lost it? Why you lost it? Hodler mindset. Hodler mindset designed to make people losers. They want everybody to become losers so they can sell to them in their face. That's what they want. That's what the whales are doing. They create these. I think all these YouTubers, all these hodlers cults, they actually and special agents sent by the whales to create this mindset of hodlers. Then the whales are, you know, creating this bull run, build bull markets. Maybe some of them never get a bull run, and then these pathetic losers are keep buying over and over and over, and if they don't care about the price, they saying to us over and over again, we don't care about the price. But wait, the bear market will humble you. The bear market is going to humble, man. I'm waiting for the bear market.
You know what's the problem though, CM? You know what's the problem? They do not care about the price, and that's why they never sold when they had like a 5x or a 10x in when Casper had a bull market. So, you know what the funny thing is that these people never sell at the highs because they don't want to admit that they're just greedy, okay? And they say that they don't care about price fluctuations, that they just want to hold it, blah blah blah. And it's true in the bull market, but they eventually capitulate in the bear market. All those people that didn't sell in the peak bull to actually book the ROI, okay, they didn't sell because they were like, oh, I don't care about price fluctuation, I'm going to hold Casper for 10 years. Then in the bear market, the pressure is so heavy that in the capitulation week, that's all those people. It happens again and again. Okay, so the problem here, what I'm trying to say is that they do not care about price fluctuation until it's too late, and then they just capitulate. Instead, stop thinking about yourself as if you are like a stone man and you just want to hold a coin for no reason because you believe it's the future, and start thinking about how you can just use crypto, because that's how me and CM call crypto. It's just cryptos as a vehicle to improve your lifestyle. That's the only thing you want to think about crypto. That's it. Use crypto to make ROI, to book more gains, to take it back home, to improve my lifestyle. Maybe buy the wifey some gifts, maybe invest in some real estates and stuff like that they have more longevity in towards their being. And of course, you can live in that house, you can actually do with that house many things, and you build your wealth, and you just extract. Okay, your goal in crypto is to extract as much value and ROI as you can to improve your lifestyle and your family's lifestyle, and so on and so forth. That's the only thing crypto is good for. Okay, and that's what we try to say over and over again. By the way, CM, someone over here, Mr. And I think, yeah, I recognize him, Bitpokidia or whatever. He's saying gold is sexier than BTC. It's funny how they use the sexy word as if that means something. Yeah, it's in a blow of top type, mechanism. It's definitely a better trade for now. Okay, very, 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 very different trade. By the way, I told my father to buy gold like in the mid 2021s because I saw inflation coming. So my father is a very happy person. Yeah, but it's chasing right now. It's not something you can trade. If you're not in the gold trade, it's done for you. That's what I think. What do you think, CM?
Yeah, man, it's it might continue, but now it's like there is nothing to do there. It's the price already mooned. If it will go sideways just like it did here, that was the entry here.
For
That was the
sure.
entry here in August 2025. Anyone that buys here, like for investment, is gonna get cooked. It's gonna get cooked because at some point all this parabolic rally will probably top out and it will do something like
Yeah.
that, and then it will continue probably. So they're always doing that, and these babies, that they are now hodlers, or they're running to the stores to buy gold now. This is actually a sell signal, major sell
A sell
signal,
signal. I got a lot
major,
of
major.
questions about gold. A lot of questions about gold. People like, oh, should we buy gold now and whatever?
Yeah,
And that just means to me just you need to not buy gold. Actually, I was
that's a
searching
bubble.
yesterday ETFs that go short on gold. Now, I'm not going to go short on gold just yet. I'm going to wait for a setup, but I'm definitely going to go against the herd at the right moment and actually short it because, you know, it's just bubbling right now. It's just it's a blow off top type move. And whether or not it continues in the next decade or whatever, because the basement blah blah, it doesn't matter because if it goes down 30% and you get smoked and it can go sours for another year, 2 years, again you lose interest. It's not sexy anymore as this question comes. And then people lose interest, they sell, and then it continues after everyone kind of lost interest. So definitely I wouldn't look at gold right now for a trade nor for an investment, and I would wait for it to kind of flash the next signal.
Yeah, man,
That
it's
was a nice
cooked.
cup and handle.
Oh yeah, beautiful, 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 beautiful. For like 10 years or something,
10
12
years,
years.
yeah, 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it will continue, but it will continue, I believe, into the recession and stuff, but not now. Now it's overheated. It's now in a parabolic phase. Probably
Yeah.
will top out. Probably will top out. And once gold top out, all the clowns on X on the crypto clowns, they think the liquidity will flow from gold to crypto.
To
That's
Bitcoin, like a
that's
rotation.
hilarious. Yeah, that's hilarious because first of all, the people that buy gold, or they buy it in like a store, for real gold, or they buy it in like a stock market, like in a brokerage account, whatever. The liquidity cannot flow to crypto, to Bitcoin. Now that's first thing. That's just not functional. It's not possible. Second, why the f these morons will buy Bitcoin after they were chasing peaks in gold? So these are peaks chasers. Okay, they chase euphoria, they chase hype. Bitcoin looks like garbage socks. Yeah, that you worn them for like 2 years after a track in South America. They it looks filthy. So and the Bitcoin narrative that is like a risk, a hedge against
Safe
bad
haven, yeah.
times, safe haven. It's false. It's a scam. And it's gonna show everybody. It's gonna rug everybody. We'll see. Oh yeah, oh boy.
CM, the reason why gold is going parabolic?
No, what? Why?
Because no one gave a shit about gold for years. Everyone thought gold is like stupid, and just boring, and no one wanted anything to do with gold. And so when a coin that is hated, we talked about not a coin, but this is actually a metal, right? But when an asset that is hated all of a sudden is moving and moving higher, and everyone is like, oh, I don't have gold, I just thought it's stupid, as whatever, then as you said, they chase the peak because they didn't have any exposure and they never thought about gold at all. Just imagine all these people in the last 30 years, no one thought about gold as a good asset for trading and making good ROIs on, and now they're chasing it, okay, because it was a hated asset. However, Bitcoin, on the other hand, is considered the best asset to for the best risk asset to be in because it has all these wild moves and it has all these promises of making people rich. So that puts it on the camp of a loved coin or a loved asset. So because everyone is expecting actually Bitcoin to be that asset that makes the blow off top, it doesn't happen. No one expected gold to make a blow off top. That's why it's happening. That's kind of, the truth in investing and markets and trading that people do not appreciate, where if it's a crowded trade, it doesn't happen. If it's not a crowded trade, then all of a sudden it happens, because it gets crowded over time, and then it just blows off the top. That's how the chase happens. Okay. And that's why even he didn't get a blow off top CM in 2021. The last time you got a blow off top on Bitcoin was in end of 2017. To be honest, like a real blow off top mode, because everyone is watching it. Yes, it made nice gains in each bull market, but it didn't have a blow off top like gold is happening. What do you think?
Yeah, man, Bitcoin is cooked, man. I think it's gonna go into a prolonged bear market because of the way this looks like. You can see the RSI on the monthly. It looks very, very, very dangerous. You see the lower highs on the macro trend. The macro trend is getting exhausted. Marginally higher highs. It cannot really explode the way it is. The peaks are getting smaller. It looks like they're gonna crash it, man. I will not be surprised to see Bitcoin back to 15,000, maybe even below that in the next couple of
Oof.
years. Yeah, man, because I told you, man, what I think. I think this is the cycle for Bitcoin, the big cycle for
The
Bitcoin.
secular bull.
Yeah, 16 secular bull cycle, and now we're gonna go to a secular bear, which will be around 4 years. Obviously, of 4 years, I think that's what will shock people completely. And this is a reset we need in the market. We need this reset in the market to get Bitcoin back to its glory days, and also to completely remove all the toxic coins that been printed this cycle, which I would remove 99% of the coins, man. If you ask me, they all going to zero, man. Like all these coins, they're going to zeros. No one is going to buy them in a recessionary environment. No one is going to buy them in a financial crisis. They're going to be dumped like they're going to be dumped faster than I will dump my toilet paper in my toilets every day. I'm telling you, man. It's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be brutal, man. The people they don't understand. Crypto is the next .com bubble. Crypto is the next .com bubble. It is the new .com bubble, and it's going to get destroyed completely now in the next couple of years. That's my 2 cents. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna be shorting the F out of this market. And guys, do yourself a favor. Stop being a loser. Stop being losers. If you are holding coins, you're a loser. If you're not making ROI now in this year, you're a loser. Stop being a loser. Be a winner. Join our VIP. We'll change your life forever. We'll make you a trader. We'll make you a successful investor. We'll teach you when is the best time to buy coins, when is the best time to short them. We teach you everything you need to know. And you just follow us. You're going to be way ahead of the pack, my friend. You're going to be cruising into the land of sunshine, sitting on islands with your bird, enjoying life, drinking margaritas, while all your hodlers friends are getting cooked, smoked, and throwing in the towel and leave the space forever. They're going to leave the space forever because that's what happened. The hodlers of 2021, 2020 cycle, they are gone. The hodlers of 2017, they are gone. The hodlers of 2023 cycle, they are about to get flushed out of the market. That's the Bitcoin cycle. It's flashing the altcoin hodlers and also the Bitcoin hodlers every 4 years. And the next flash will flash, I believe, even the OG Bitcoin hodlers, Jomo. It's going to go so low that is going to scare even the biggest hodlers, the OG hodlers from 2017, 2014, 2020, even they will start doubting the future of Bitcoin. Yes, sir. You heard it. You heard it in Crypto Mindset. Disclaimer, I do not believe Bitcoin is over. I believe Bitcoin will have a moment of sunshine. Crypto is here to stay. But I believe something nasty is brewing, and you are about to see 2026 humble the world.
Let's go, man. Let's go. I love it, man. I
My
love it.
indicators just screaming. I show you the RSI on the monthly now on the
Yeah,
16
yeah.
years. This is no joke, you know. No one is watching 16 years RSI chart. No one, 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 no one,
It's
no one,
true, man.
no one.
Both of us have different ways to see, both of us read market, in our own unique ways, but both of us have like an alarm right now in our heads. I remember like a week or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember exactly. I was looking at all the alts after the implosion, so let's say a week ago, and I just felt like a chilling sensation when I was going over all the altcoins. Like all the altcoins, like 99% of all centralized exchanges coins, right? And I go over all of them at least once or twice a week. They look smoked, CM, like very much within the winter. They are in bear markets already, okay? The only reason why this is not considered a bear market just yet is because of Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is still above the 200-day moving average, above the 50-week moving average, above the $100,000, still kind of making higher highs and higher lows. That's the only reason why this market is still considered a bull market. But if you look in the ins, all right, of everything else besides Bitcoin, 99% of the market looks smoked. It looks in deep in a bear market, okay? Most of it. And the rest looks like it's on the way to a bear market, okay? So, our alarms are just, showing that this is not looking good. And again, we are very cautious about things, and we're looking very much into the shorting side of the market because we know and we appreciate that what will happen once once Bitcoin gives up, it will happen at one moment. Once Bitcoin just gives up, it's because that's the last line of defense. Everything else is going to get flushed. As everything else is going to be flushed, and that's where shorts are going to be printing, and we saw this happening in 2022. CM, we had a beautiful year. People were screaming to their mummies in 2022. It was a horrific year, right, for traders, investors, and everything. And you and I, we were just shorting the market. We longed a little bit in March, but the rest of the year was just shorting opportunities all the way around, and we were just having a blast of our lives. Okay, so
More
again,
than a
everyone,
double. I more than
yeah,
doubled
more
my
than double.
account in 2022. More than a
Yeah,
double
me too.
because we had the long season, which was
Yeah,
in January till March. We had a
yeah,
beautiful longs, even in multiple baggers. Like
yeah,
two,
yeah,
three, four X's.
yeah,
In
yeah, yeah.
January till March on altcoins, but then the April till like June,
April, yeah,
July was
yeah,
a
exactly.
bloodbath, and that
Bloodbath.
was the best move to the best. That was the big short, and yeah, people that don't take advantage of shorting, they are clueless. They are clueless, my friend. It's not taking advantage of a short, of a good crypto short. It's just not like not going long on Bitcoin on the beginning of the bull market. It's the same. It's the same trade, man. The same trade just to the downside. It's amazing. And if you guys want to be a winners, consider joining our VIP. It's dirt cheap. Will change your life forever. Will flip you from a hodler, loser, baboon to a winner, trader, and investor for life. For life, not just for a cycle, not just for a day, not just for a month. Like your moon boy with the pimples are telling you that they all gonna be disappear in a month or two. They and their pimples are gonna disappear from the horrors. You know, we are here to stay, and you're gonna see. We're gonna be here in 2 months, in 5 months, deep in the bear. We're gonna be here printing. We're gonna show you. You better do yourself a favor. Join now before you lose everything. See you guys in the next video. Hasta la vista.
Cheers, everybody. Hasta la vista, baby.